What's up? Welcome to my breakdown of my beat that I made for our beat battle. So the first things first, I'm gonna play you the sample that we had and we had to flip. Starting off, here we go. Here's the sample. So when I first heard the sample, I definitely wanted to make something chill, something with trap inspiration, but not like super quantized or anything like that. So I really wanted to keep it really swung and really loose. But in terms of what I wanted to use from the sample, I just wanted to use literally that very first hit that you hear. I just pretty much used that, and basically what I did with the sample I'll show you here. So yeah, I took that first bit and the second chord that hits as well, and I did a bunch of different stuff actually. I EQ'd away the high frequencies using sample reduction. Sometimes I find that this works better than using an EQ, just gives it a nicer sound. Added some chorus, some vibrato, sorry, and then some chorus, and also just did a little bit EQing to it as well. But look, focusing in on this, I also utilized a bit of like pitch automation on each clip, so that it just has that bit of a portamento slide into the start of each hit of the chord. So basically that's where I started with this, and then from there I used the Arteria Piano V2 and I just drew in some MIDI that went with the chords. So this is what they sound like together. Like I said, I really wanted to make something that was super like chill, light, just smooth, and yeah. So that's that bit. After I made those two parts of the song, I went in and I started trying to come up with some drums and stuff like that. Initially, this is a hi-hat pattern that I came up with for these two. And normally I always start with my hi-hats and just like a simple clap pattern as well, but you can hear it's super loose. You can have a look at the MIDI as well. Put it into, yeah, so you can see here and there the notes go behind, and to me that's a really important part of my production, just always keeping stuff loose, and just keeping stuff loose and really swung. Also, something else that I want to mention that's really important to getting that sound, and something that I do a lot, is if you have a look here. So if you go to the side, you can see this delay button here. I always, well, not always, but I do this a lot with my tracks where I push them back behind the beat, especially with the hi-hats, and then I just basically play around with the delay, and just to get some swing. Okay, so focusing on the drums as a whole. So yeah, I started off this hi-hat pattern, but then I simplified it because I wanted that to be more of when the verse came in, and this is the blue parts, so when it's like the chorus or section A, whatever. Basically, it's just that clap. Got an open hat here as well, and just some simple 808s following like the root note, and then from there, basically it just transitions, and then the clap switches up into a snare, and then the 16th note hi-hats come in as well. I also made the 808s a bit more complex during the verse too, just to change up the patterns that were before. More importantly, a big difference, and actually I have one of my layers muted here, but in terms of what I changed in the chords, similarly to how I changed the clap, I just got a new instrument, and this instrument's actually one of the samples in my sample pack, so check that out on the TAPED website if you want to cop that one. But yeah, so I just took one of my one shots from my one shot pack, and then took the pretty much the exact same MIDI, put it there, and I just reversed the keys, so to give it like a cool reversing effect. And basically, yeah, you can hear the difference here. And I also added this lead layer. Also with the snares, I added some syncopation by adding some claps with some snares in between. And then just really basic transitions, like just taking little sections at the end, just to create like a little pause there, you know. In terms of processing, I'll have a look at what I did for the drums. So I put a bit of drum bus on it just to get it started with some punch and some saturation with the crunch. And also a little bit of boom, and just pull down the transients to make it a bit tighter. The dry wet's really low because I just didn't want it to be super, you know, obvious and just taking over the whole drum loop. So just kept the dry wet really low. I use a virtual mix rack by Slate Audio, literally just to saturate my drums. I have 3 different layers of saturation going on there. I just love saturation, you know, making my drum sound full. That's what I do. And I also added the soft tube tape emulation again, just to add more saturation, change the tone, make it sound a bit more retro, a bit more vintage. And then finally on the drums, I also have the VBC compressor, Slate Digital again, and just slow attack, quick release, just controlling the dynamics and keeping it tight. So that's basically it for the drum processing. Oh, I also put a little bit of reverb on the drums too. You can see the verb here. Pretty basic stuff. Just EQ'd out the loads and stuff like that. Moving forward, let me close this up. So in terms of processing, not much for the piano. Literally, you can see here, just cut a bunch of the lows out just because I wanted to leave room for the chords sitting down there. And then, you know, any processing on that one. On the master, I do have a sidechain from the 808, and also just a bit of vibrato, and a bit of pan spread and high pass filter and low pass filter, cutting the frequencies a little bit. So yeah, it was a fun time making this beat. I definitely struggled a bit to start with creating a nice like melodic loop or whatever. I struggled a bit to find like the notes in the sample, but I ended up, you know, finding it after a little struggle and a little mission.